Hi everyone, this is Amanda, and this is a special request video. I had hauled these stencils that I found at the Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago by now, and someone asked me to, to demonstrate how the stencils worked. So this is like a Johnny on the spot type video. I do not know how these stencils are going to perform, but we're going to find out. I don't know what will work the best with these stencils, so I got a couple different options here. I got one of my little stamp pads from Tim Holtz Distress Ink and a blending tool, and I thought we'd try that on one of them. I have the Vicky Boutin. This is one of her acrylic paints from her new line and I hauled these a couple months ago as well. It was new from CHA, so we'll try that. And that's what this little brush here is for. And then I've got the texture paste, the opaque matte from Ranger, that once this stuff is dry, I thought maybe we'll try stenciling on top of something else. And then just to see if this will work, I have out these Glimmer Mist things. I'm not sure I can do this, and I did haul these as well in my Tuesday morning video. So I will link below the haul video for this, the haul video for this, and the haul video for this, and the haul video for the stencils, just in case you are wanting to know what I got and everything like that. So let's start out with the easy. This goes with the texture paint. So let's start out with something easy. We'll open up with, let's start with the letters. I'm going to take some washi tape and kind of adhere this to the table so that it doesn't move, like my shadows on my paper. So we'll just stick this right here. We'll make sure that doesn't move. All right, so let's open this up, and I'm assuming these will work just fine, but you never know. They're supposed to be adhesive on the back. So let's check that out. Okay, so they are sticky and the frame is there, so these are individual. So let's just start by doing a word, and we'll start out with May. Since this is May, we'll do an M, an A, and I'm not going to try to be perfect. If it's crooked, it's crooked. If it's not, it's not. And a Y. These are all capitals. So let's work with, let's do another one. Let's see, do I have, because there's only one letter, S-P-R-I-N-G. So let's do spring. S P R I N and G. Okay, so we've got May and spring. Whoops, that's moving. And let's see what else. If I want to do another one, how about spring clean? C, and we'll do this in lowercase letters with just the capital C and the L and the E and the A and the N. And actually, I think I'm going to swap out this C, and this will give us a good indication of they stick back to the paper, and they do. And we'll go with the smaller C. So far, I will tell you, these feel pretty good. I mean, for stencils, they feel pretty good. So, let's see, what were we going to try? Something simple. So we'll do the Distress ink. If I can get enough ink on this thing. When they're new, it's hard. You're probably like, why are you doing all of them in this one pattern? And it's because I'm going to try the other stencils with the other items too. So we get this nice and covered up here. I'm not the best stenciler, I will tell you that right now. I'm not the best art journaler or the best stenciler. I try it and, well, if it works type of thing. But I think it's very subjective. Any kind of art is very subjective because what I like may not be what you like and vice versa. I'm not going to use, I was going to try to heat this up, but I don't think I am. Let's just pull these up and see how they work. I'll clean these later. Actually, I've got my wipes up here. I'll just roll them over this. Okay, so that came out pretty good, I would say. And let's pull up the spring. P. I really need my little thing to pull up the stuff. Let me just try this little thing. There we go. And that'll be a little bit easier. Not that it's hard, it's just I don't want to mess anything up. So I think it's looking really nice. Okay, and then let's get this down here. Okay, so I'm back. I fast forwarded some of that just so that you didn't have to see me picking up the stencils of everything. And then also I wanted to show you that I just ran a little baby wipe over the top of these and they are nice and clean. This, I am like really impressed. This is perfect. They look brand new. So that is one technique that works. We've seen that work. So let's try another one. Let's try the acrylic paint this time. And we'll do the swirls. Actually, no, we'll do the flowers because I like the purple better with the flowers. Okay, so we've got, let's see, we'll make, I want to do the whole thing purple. I don't want to mix any colors at this time. So let's just, and you'll notice that these are not separate like those were individual, so we'll have to, I think I'm going to cut them. Why not, right? I have my scissors here and we'll just cut this. I mean, if all else fails, it was $1, right? I'm talking to myself, yes. I'm giving my permission to try something and see if I fail, it has to be okay. So let's just put this over here. Here. And I think we will try another flower. We'll do this one. Now getting it back on the piece of the backing might be a little hard since I'm cutting these up. I never even thought about that, but you certainly don't have to do that. Come on. That there. And we'll put one more. And at the end, when I'm done, I'll put a picture of the whole thing, just in case anything is out of the frame. I don't want to, you know, I'll put a completed picture there. So with the plum pudding, I've got Vicki Boutin's plum pudding. We'll shake it really good. And then these have little things on the inside that you have to take off. It must be leaking. And then I'm just going to put a tiny little dab on my craft mat here. There we go. But anyway, we're just going to take some paint, some of this acrylic paint, and see if it will do the same thing as the other stencils. I feel like what I will need is, like, this is, see how this is coming over the edges of the stencil? I feel like I would have to mask this off. Like, even if this works completely, I would have to mask it. Do you know what I mean? Like, put some tape down so it doesn't go past where this stencil is, because it's going to go into, it's going to go on the edges. But that's okay for this project, because this really is just to see if the stencils are going to work or how well they work. It also gives me a chance to demonstrate the Vicki Boutin paint, which I love. I've used it on some other projects and I love it. It's very nice. We've got almost out of paint. I'm going to have to put some more down. I love the name of her paints too. Like, this is Plum Pudding. The one I like the most is Daiquiri Ice. Get me a little bit more paint here. And then we'll finish. Now, I don't know if I should, I think I have to, I don't know, I was thinking, do I dry it before picking up the stencil, or do I pick up the stencil first? That's how I'm not familiar with stenciling, so I don't know all the protocol, but giving it a good old try here. I think everything is well covered. Like I said, next time I would definitely mask it, which some of you are probably already saying, yeah, mask it. I'm going to clean up the paint off my mat here, so that's all nice and clean. And then I'll just let my paintbrush rest on that, and I'll clean it when I'm done. So are we ready for the big reveal? Let's pick this one up. Make sure I have my little piece of acrylic here. Beautiful. And had I masked it, it would have been perfect. And I'm going to put it back on the piece of acrylic here. It's got still got lots of stickiness. As you can tell, it wants to stick to it right away. And I'll clean that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get this one up. Okay, that's pretty. Okay, so here we've got our last one. And if I wanted to, I could just take a piece of acrylic, you know, like blank acrylic like you use for shaker cards or something like that, and store them on one sheet like that, since I cut them. And now I'm going to take another baby wipe and try to get the paint off and see if it comes off as well as the Tim Holtz. It's a little bit harder to come off, but I think it's going to come off. I think if I did this again, you know, I'm thinking hindsight, right? I think I would do them one at a time so that the paint would not dry as much. Okay, so I will reveal to you how these cleaned off, and you can see that this one was the hardest one to clean because I left the paint on there too long. If I had stenciled and then picked it up right away and cleaned it, I think all of it would have come off, because these other two that they came off cleaner because they didn't have the paint on it as long. But I just used a straight baby wipe with it, and since I cut these, I'll probably store them on a piece of acrylic or acetate, or you could, I mean, they would store like even on this type of a mat that I'm working on, the Ranger mat, so anything that, you know, will peel off easily. And that's it. They really, I think they performed pretty well. Okay, so this time we're gonna try the swirls, and I am not going to cut these this time, but maybe I'll try to mask it a little bit. Let me see if I can do that, because I'm going to try using the Glimmer Mist, which again, I've never used Glimmer Mist, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so if I want to put this here, let's just mask it here. So we'll put like one side down like that, and I'm going to try to move this so you can see it. I got my cutting mat underneath it. So I've got this one kind of covered. Okay, so let's try this. Take these out. I got these for $9.99 at Tuesday Morning. It was such a deal. I'm going to try blue, because I know nothing of what I'm doing. It says to shake it. But if somebody else has other tips for this, please feel free to let me know. Okay, so I have chosen the blue, and honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, so we'll just try this. I do have this little piece of paper here so I can kind of keep it from hitting everything on my desk. Then it says to add this shine to it. So let's try the shine next. So I could be using too much for all I know. And then let's just daub this up here. I don't know, something tells me I didn't do that right. All right, well, I will tell you from the stencil point of view, I think it turned out great. Let's just peel it up and see what happened. Ooh, it's pretty. Oh, okay, that's nice. You notice that these don't tear. When I've been peeling them up, they don't tear at all. And that's nice too. And we'll get a little baby wipe. We'll put this back on here, and we'll get a baby wipe and clean that up. And then I want to take a closer look at that stencil. Okay, Glimmer Mist, clean as a whistle. 2 thumbs up for the cleanup on the stencils. And let's just take a closer look at this. If this really shines and sparkles, that is beautiful. I don't know if I did it right or if I did it wrong, but whatever it is, it's very pretty. Now, you can see the bleeding here through the stencils, and that's because I had all those layers of things underneath it to mask it. I think I would probably cut them next time like I did the others. So let's put this back down, and I'm gonna dry this and be right back. Okay, I tried that. It did pretty well. I'm gonna try one more thing, and that is going to be using the texture paste with the stencils. Normally I would like to have more of a background to do the texture paste, but let's add a little bit more color here. All right, so I added a little bit more color so that I could use the texture paste. No, I have not used this before too. See, I'm learning so much right here on camera. I've got this little putty knife, and I'm gonna mix it around a little bit. Okay, and let's use this one that we left. It's kind of like a corner, and I'm just going to put it down right here and put a little bit of this here. We'll see how this this does. It felt a little bit like it was going to lift up the stencil. So that would be interesting if the other items worked, but this one didn't. That would be really interesting. And this is the Ranger. I think I already told you this, but it's the Ranger texture paste opaque. I'll take ideas and tips and hints for using the texture paste as well, since that's not my strong point either. So really, card making without stamps has probably been my most specialty. All right, let's try it. Let's peel it off and see what happens. I don't think it does that well with the texture paste. You can see it's got texture for sure. I put a very thin layer on there, and because it was a thinner stencil, and it still looks like it peeled up and lost its shape a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and try to scrape off this extra stuff here. So this is what the stencil looks like after I cleaned it. It was very difficult to clean the paste off. It wasn't easy like the stamps or the Glimmer Mist. It was very, I mean, I had to really scrub with the baby wipe to get it all out. And then I took a tissue afterwards and really got down into the nooks and crannies. But what happened with this specific type of stencil is all these little pieces like right here got pulled up. And that's why I went ahead and dried this so that I could show you. But that's why, like, this is dry and you can see the texture and it looks pretty cool. But I guess maybe you just have to be really careful if you used, I've got it upside down, if you used this for that. Actually, I think for stencil purposes, this is pretty nice. I like it. Okay, number one, Stencils A+. For $1, can't beat it. Things I've learned, I need more experience with stencils. Perfectly okay. I can consider myself a newbie in that area. Secondly, or I guess thirdly, I would cover the paper in some sort of paint or texture or gesso or something like that, and maybe both, a combination of both. Maybe I'd use my Nouveau Mousse, something on the background so it's not bare. Before I stenciled, I wanted this to be white so that we could see it clearly together. And then third or fourth, by now, I would definitely mask the flowers, and this one I would definitely cut it out. So otherwise, I think I'm really happy with my find. I'm really happy for my $3, and I think I'm just gonna scribble a little bit on here, and I'm gonna kind of save it because this was a good example of how these worked. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.